Hello, hello, hello. We are kicking it off already. This is look at this. We got folks in the chat are Zap, Joe, Pinecone, hello. Camille the Chicken and Owncast, hello. Yeah, Owncast, we got something special to talk about Owncast. We are Sif on Owncast. Thank you. Just changed their user handle. We are going out live on Twitch, YouTube, Owncast, and PeerTube as always. Oh, does the push notification still say Frankie play? Oh, oops. Oh, well, too late now, I guess. I'll change that later. Thank you, though, for letting me know on Owncast. Yeah, I forgot to update the Owncast. I guess I thought I got a checklist that I go through every stream. And I think I do it all, and then I miss something, inevitably. But hey, people are going to think they're coming to see Frankie play a video game, and they're going to come in here, and it's going to be me building puppets. What a surprise. But speaking of Owncast, those of you who are not in the Discord don't know this, but we are the featured streamer on this month's Owncast newsletter, which is lovely. So thank you for Kit Altman, who runs the Owncast newsletter. Very cool. It's so nice. Yeah, I mean, Owncast is a small community, but it's nevertheless really cool, and we love it and the Fediverse. And as you can see, we've got our Fediverse links right here. So there we go. Awesome. Okay, good stuff. Hello, everybody. It's another build stream. We're doing it again. My allergies are still out of control. I'm going to be stopping often and doing this because my whole head's broken. I am going to see the allergy clinic next week, I think, if I remember correctly. Hopefully we can start to get to the bottom of some of this, because everything from the neck up, it's wrong. But I'm not letting that stop me. We're still building the puppets, as always. And also, starting off as I usually, this is like the Mr. Rogers putting on the sweater thing. It's just me having a coffee while we hang out. We got people popping off in the Owncast. This is because the Owncast newsletter went out. I'm sure we got business happening on Owncast. Nice to see. That's Operation Puppet.live for those of you who want to be in the cool kids club and get in on the Owncast thing. But if not, it's okay. I try to put the stream where people are. So I don't want to force anybody to be on any platform or do any work. They can just watch my thing. So here we go. Although there is going to be some Fediverse exclusive streaming happening hopefully this weekend. I was going to do it last weekend, but then things got weird. You're right, Fozzie. Owncast is getting crowded today. Likely because of the Owncast newsletter going out, which is great. Love to see it. Love to see growth in Owncast. Owncast deserves it. Pinecone. Okay. Thank you, Pinecone. I know Pinecone. Pinecone's in several chats currently. So, nice to see. Regardless, it's good to have people there. It's good to have people anywhere, to be honest. So yeah, we are building the puppets. It's the deal for this week, since it's the last week of the month. I'm just finishing up the build. It's been pretty good lately, actually. The sales have been not bad. So I've been pleased with what's gone on in June. Hopefully we can carry that through till July. Next week is a short week because we have a stat holiday on the Monday. So I'm still not sure what we're going to do. Hello from Germany. Nice to see you from Germany. The user currently known as Miss Piggy on Owncast. Yeah, well, that's one of the neat things about Owncast is it's very international. I mean, because it's free open source software, a broader range of people use it and have access to it. And so there's a lot of non North American streamers on Owncast, which is cool. We like it. It's good. We like diversity. So yeah, puppets, huh? So yes, this week we are doing 2 furry smalls. And wow, Owncast is just filling up. This is wild. Okay, well, thank you, Kit. I'm now a little nervous, but you know, what else are we gonna do? Oh, side note, and here, yes, I don't get it. Here are also puppet fans. That's it. Puppets are the universal. It's the universal translator from Star Trek, right? Patrick on YouTube. Hello, nice to see you. We got folks. I like it. It's all good. We're bringing puppets, bring people together. You see. Speaking of which, so there is a one small technical note. The original, my brilliant plan to have a better close-up cam is not working out because the camera that I have that has the good zoom on it has a loose connection for the cable, and I cannot move it without losing connection. And that's a problem. I've had to like rethink the whole thing. So at the moment, we do not have a close-up cam. So we're gonna have to try and get through the stream without a close-up cam. I'll figure it out. I'll figure something out eventually. It's always a work in progress. So we're just gonna have to muddle through that and make sure that I don't hit the button for the close-up cam because it's just a blank screen at the moment. So there is that. However, we're gonna go to the shoulder cam here so I can show what's happening on the table here, as well as my coffee. You wouldn't believe how often I get fur in my coffee. Well, you probably would believe it, but a lot. I get a lot of fur in my coffee. Try not to swallow the fur. That's my tip for the day. There's your big puppet building tip. Don't swallow fur. Anyway, we got these 2 smalls, and as you see, one of them is rainbow colored. I had way more rainbow fur than I realized I did, so I went, well, why not? I'm gonna do furry smalls this week. Let's do a rainbow furry small. Here we go for Pride. Nice to see. And we got 2 furry smalls here, and we are gonna do something interesting. So what is left to do on these 2 critters is the facial features and the arms. I've already made the arms. I gotta stuff these and put the doll joints in, but I'm gonna save that for the last. I've got fur flying around already, getting in my coffee, you see? Because that's quick and easy. Let me get the coffee out of the way here. That's quick and easy, and I'll just do that after stream. Maybe on stream, depends on how far we get. So what I'm focusing on are the facial features of these 2 creatures. Hello from Spain on Twitch. Hello, nice to see you. Wow, there's people coming out today. I don't know, so it's weird. I don't get most of how like the traffic on the internet, because ever since like, you know, the corporate social media thing just kind of went to the pits. I do not know what influences it. It's a roll of the dice. If you get people or you don't, I have no idea. So I'm not going to worry about it. We're just going to do our thing. So yes, we are doing the facial features on these 2 creatures. Now I have something special planned for the green one. The rainbow one, I think, is just going to get our bog standard hemispherical eyes, and that's probably going to be it. Just Lucky 23 on Twitch. Hello, nice to see you. Nice icon. I like it. Yeah, so I think that's all we're gonna do for the rainbow one. It was real simple, just a couple of hemisphere eyes, so your standard Muppety style kind of things. We need a tongue too, and that's gonna be it. I'm gonna keep it. I tend to prefer simple anyway, so that's what we're gonna do for that. But the green one, I got something special planned. Let me switch back to this camera, probably the best. So the eyes that I use most of the time now are my custom designed 3D printed ones. So these are 3D printed. So they looks like half a ping pong ball. I know it's not. It is actually a 3D printed thing because it's got a threaded rod that it screws down onto. Since we don't have a close-up cam, I have to do it like this. But inside here, you see there's a little socket, and then I make a little threaded plug. So it's kind of a combo of a doll joint and a nut and bolt kind of thing. I had to print these at a pretty high infill rate, so they're sturdy and will hold up. But the nice thing about these is once you make the mounting holes, these are removable, right? You can just unscrew these and take them off and replace them with something else. So they're nice, but they're also sturdy. Like if you just want to leave them permanent, you can leave them permanent. But they also, as you can see, once you screw down the backing, it's also flat and flush against the hand. So this is a really good type of thing to use inside a puppet. And I know Patrick, I believe, has been working on something similar to these, has their own sort of take on that kind of thing. And it's cool. It's 3D printing has really upped our game, as it were. Sif, oh, could I safely unscrew my eyes of my Sonk puppet like this if I want to adjust them slightly? So it depends. I had some leftover of the old style eyes. I can't remember. Just show me a picture on, if you're on the Discord or whatever, like of which one you got, because I cannot remember. Sometimes I use the old school with just the snap plates, and sometimes I use these. If I use these, then yes. If I didn't use these, you can still adjust the eyes. The eyes should still rotate a bit, and all of my pupils are sticky back velvet. So you can literally take a little pin and you can lift off the pupil and reposition it if you wanna move it. So yes is the answer to both questions. It's just how you go about that. It's going to be different depending on what kind you have. So. Patrick's working on screw-on shoulder joints right now. That's very cool. I actually have some like that I do myself, and I do have one here. This is, I think I want to refine these. I'm not super happy with them, but this is what I've done for a kind of removable dull joint. And it's really simple. It's just a threaded rod and then a threaded washer. And the washer bit glues into the arm, and then this is the thing that sticks out of the puppet, and then you can sort of screw it on. I want to refine these though. These aren't the best. So it's good to know. I've got the pink one. Probably join the Discord to see the build process, see if it uses those eyes. Yeah, I'll look it up for you. Yeah, do join the Discord, and we can chat over there. Please go over the smoothing process for the eyeballs. None. It does. You don't see it on camera. I can't get too close to this camera because it's going to go out of focus because this is a fixed focus camera. Let's see, what camera can I use? Golly, none. Turns out. See, these are all fixed focus. Autofocus is broken for the most part on most things I use. So maybe the shoulder can get a little closer to. You can see the layer lines. I know on camera you probably can't. You can a little bit there. For the most part, though, I have found that doesn't really matter, particularly not if you're shooting something on camera. And also, it's kind of nice. Like I know a lot of the time when like professional puppets are using like either cast or ping pong balls, even they will paint them, and they will actually, like Adam Krutinger demonstrates this, they will stipple them. They will make a little kind of splattery texture across them. And it's much better under studio lighting to have a little bit of texture on the surface. And it gives, you can see the contours better. It just gives a little something. If this is just flat white, then the white balance is hard to do, and it's gonna throw off the lighting levels. You want a little bit of texture on these. So I don't worry about smoothing them. What I do is I print these at like the highest resolution that my printer can handle. So the layer lines are very, very fine. But there is a little bit of texture on these, and I like it. Speaking of which, that brings us to the funky thing I'm doing with the green furry small here. So we got these, and these are your standard looking like half ping pong balls. And then I printed out a couple of these in black filament. This is a type of eye I've been wanting to do for a small for a while. I have a picture in my head of how it's going to go, and I don't know that it's going to actually go that way. So what we're going to do today is try it out and see. So I'd always intended the smalls to be a little bit creepier than they ended up being. They ended up being just very, very cute, cuddly. And I always wanted them to have a certain oddness to them, a certain alienness. It's just me. It's just what I do. And so doing these kind of insectoid eyes, and these turned out really cool, and you can kind of see it on camera because of the layer lines. And this is just black filament, but it's got a nice satiny kind of finish. And there we go. it actually has this neat light refraction. Totally didn't expect this. Didn't plan this at all. It just has this neat, like, that's very cool looking. So I'm gonna do kind of insectoid style eyes for the green furry small. Just leaving them like this, I think wouldn't look good. So what I'm gonna do is I got some green fleece here. I'm gonna make eyelids, right? But have the pupils entirely, or have like the eyeball entirely this black. And we're just gonna see. If it doesn't look good, I'll use it for something else. I've done this style of eye on the Neefs before, which are the Skeksis sort of creatures that I make. And those look good. And I'm not sure how this is gonna go or if this is gonna work out. It may not, in which case I'll just swap them out for these. But I do want to try them because this whole light refraction thing is just cool. So yeah, Pinecone's got a little alien emoji there. Absolutely. So yeah, we're doing, yes, kind of an alien insectoid kind of thing. So that's what that's the plan to start with today. We're gonna, oh, these children screaming outside. I don't know if you can hear that. I hope you can't. Hey, Kit on PeerTube, watching over an Oancast, but the chat wasn't working over there. Oh, that's weird. I got people chatting in the Oancast chat. I no idea what's going on there. But thank you, Kit. Anyway, I've been talking about the Oancast newsletter. Yeah, okay, weird. Let me know in the Oancast chat if you're able to chat or what's going on. Let me see if I can check that. If it is broken, I don't know how to fix it, so. Let me just double check and hope that the audio isn't going to go out. Huh. Yep, Pinecone, yep. Seems to be working. Sorry, Kit. I don't know. It looks like it. I hate to give the standard Linux answer, but it's working on my computers. Yeah, Kit says probably just on their end. So I don't know. We'll see. Do check it out, but I don't know. I will look into it, but it seems to be okay for me and other people. So thank you, though. Thank you for letting me know. Here we go. The allergies are kicking off already. It's not easy, let me tell you, when you've got dust and fur and, you know, I have no idea what I'm actually allergic to. That's hopefully what the allergy clinic next week is going to illuminate for me. However, let's get to this. So, I need some lozenges. Because my throat is already. They're working in IT, I totally get that. Yeah, I know, that's the worst answer, right? Works on my machine. That's not an answer. It's just observation. Okay, let's get to this. So what I'm going to do, what the plan is, hopefully I didn't just knock the stream offline by moving the mouse. Nope. So the plan is to do both top and bottom eyelids with the green fleece on these black eyeballs. And this is like the last scrap of the nice weird kid fleece that I have. So we're going to use the good stuff. So there's a couple of things we need to do to prep for that. I don't want to do like an eye line, the liner, the black line part. But I also don't want the raw edge of the fleece. So I'm going to start by like folding over, kind of like how I demonstrated the hair last week, the wig, so we don't see the raw edge. But I am going to do this with contact cement. So yes, we are getting out the danger honey. Joe, I do like herbal tea for throat issues. Look for throat coat at the grocery. I used to get throat coat stuff all the time. And what actually seemed to be the thing was, and this is something that vocalists do a lot, is just like honey and any warm liquid will soothe your throat. The problem is, of course, I'm diabetic and I can't have honey. It's the honey and the warm liquid part that's the important thing. But yeah, I have used throat coat and it did help. I should get more of that. bar, just the quenchiest. It's true. So yeah, the first thing to do is make a nice clean edge, and this is going to be for both the top and bottom lids. So it's going to have to be relatively long. I'll cut the pieces first, I think, and then we'll refine the edge and then glue these on as normal. Now the challenge for this is making them even, because with eyes like this, I've got my little rig that I set up that I can just use a compass and draw a line. Whether or not we're going to be able to see the line on these black ones, I have no idea. So we're just gonna give that a shot. In fact, we should do that first. So let's do that first. Get my extremely professionally looking jig, I guess this is. It's just a box. But it is a box with a hole and a little crosshairs. And because of that, I can place whatever it is I need. In fact, we can go even. Oh no, I can't go further. We'll take this off of here. And you just want to sit this in as much in the center as possible, and then I've got a little hole down here. I know this is a little hard to see because the camera's kind of blown out. Again, I'm having camera reworking issues. They will be resolved, I promise. Where's my compass? Probably should have thought of this before the stream. I don't know where my compass is. We can't wing this, unfortunately. We need the compass. There it is. Okay. So, in order to make the top and bottom lids as even as possible, we just need to start and end on a fixed point, right? So that's what the compasses are for. If you're gonna get a pair of compasses, get ones like this that lock in place. Don't get the kind with the spring. Get the kind with the screw, because that way you can just leave these at a set distance and the spring isn't gonna like move. Patrick, I use a silver Sharpie on dark materials. Not sure how that would work on the layered surface. Now, the silver Sharpie would probably work. The problem is it's really quite thick, and I want to like cover over, so I'd have to sort of compensate for the thickness of the Sharpie. I'm going to try it with a pencil on here, and also like I wouldn't do with the silver Sharpie on the compass, right? I'm not sure how I would do that. I would just get some duct tape out and try it. But we're going to try it like this. This will probably be okay. As long as I can see the line. You probably won't be able to see the line on stream, but so what I want to do is first decide on, I'm going to go from the centers, and I have the center of the crosshairs marked here, and I'm just going to open this up until I don't want a really broad lid. Maybe I want to go a little bit. Try that. Okay, I can see that line. I almost certainly can't, but I can. And likewise, we're gonna come down and do the lower lid. I did that wrong. I should have waited and done the first. This is why we do it like this, so they can be even on both eyes. Okay, there's the upper lid. That. Get the other one. Mark the upper lid. Oh, you can see it. Look at that. Cool. Now I am going to change the contours of these. So there's the upper lid. Put these back in the crosshairs. It's not going to be mathematically perfect. Nothing ever is. I don't generally worry about that. Now, the problem with doing it this way, of course, is that you have a straight line across the eye. I know that's a little hard to see, but you can kind of see that, right? And of course, an eye doesn't look like that. We want this to kind of go in at the corners, I just hand draw that. I use this as just a reference point. We know that this is our kind of upper bounds. This is as far as we go, right? So the rest I can just kind of draw by hand, and it does look a little organic, but that's kind of good. As I've often mentioned, I don't worry about mathematical precision too much. I like a little bit of organic lumpiness. Okay, so that's relatively even. This one's a little bit more close, but we'll compensate for that as we sketch in the actual contour. It's just kind of gotta look right. Even if, you know, for this, if one eye is more open than the other, that might actually be kind of good. This is one of those, I'm just gonna try it, throw it at the wall, see if it sticks, you know. So let me get an actual pencil here. And now that I've got a kind of upper and lower bound, I know I basically want them to meet in the middle. Just gonna mark the middle. And then just kind of draw, like sketch in a line. Seems to be a smooth curve transition to that. You see that? You can kind of see that. Yeah. See? That's all I'm doing. I'm just drawing it by hand, just eyeballing it. Get it? The comedy is just never ends. And then, of course, you know, actually look at the thing and make any kind of changes or refinements that you think it should have. You're really just trying to get them as even as you reasonably can, but you're not going to get perfection. Perfect is the enemy of good. Just remember that. Now, the thing to remember is, usually I'll try and like clean up the lines and erase the pencil marks. Kid on Ownecast, no corporate security system will hold me. Nice, well done. That was it, huh? They were keeping us out. You can't go to OperationPuppet.live. We don't know what that is. All right, so basically at this point, this is where I get artistic and I just kind of sketch in what I think I want it to look like. Now that we've got a kind of limit to where it should go. Yeah, this one is definitely more closed. We can change that. So I'm gonna erase the lines that I think are going to go out of bounds, and try and like glue the eyelids on, try and keep them overlapping the lines so we don't have lines showing. That would be bad. All right. I know that's really hard to see, but hey. Hey, Kit, literally, we don't know what this is, was the problem. You give me a warning click-through page, and they'll just reject various JavaScript loads after that. Oh, nice. Uh-huh. Good to know that OperationPuppet.live is a deep security threat. We're like, I don't know, Russian puppet actors or something. I promise we're not. And you can trust me. I make puppets. So I'm just erasing these lines, and hopefully that's not going to muck up the eyeball too much. I want to retain that nice, weird light refraction thing that goes on. Okay, that's not too bad. I don't think that's livable. Indieski, hello! On the YouTubes. Speaking of the YouTubes, yes, we did, in fact, surpass 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. And there will be a giveaway to say thank you. Open to everybody, whether you're on YouTube or not, because we're celebrating. And so there will be more on that coming soon. In fact, that's why I want to finish these today, so I have tomorrow that I can shoot a video about that. Which means I gotta write a script. Which means I may actually unpack the teleprompter that I got like a month ago and still haven't taken out of the box yet. I want to do more video essay type stuff. It's just a matter of finding the time. Turns out keeping a business running is a lot of work. Who knew? Okay. We're gonna try it like this, and if it's great, it's great. If it's not great, it is what it is. Okay. That's hilarious. Somebody authenticated on the Owncast server. Dr. Teeth is now authenticated as Gonzo. Okay, sure. I have, so the way the Owncast chat works is when you first join, if you haven't authenticated through the Fediverse or some other service like that, it just assigns you a random username. And you can include your own list of possible usernames. So I've just added in all these Muppet names, of course. And that's what people, when they first join, automatically get assigned a random Muppet name. I thought that was fun. Turns out it is. Okay, so the next part, this is where it gets serious because we're gonna have to bust out the Danger Honey. So let's move some stuff out of the way because this cutting mat is brand freaking new. And I've already got glue and crap all over it. I did, like, literally it's less than a week old. Or actually, no, it's about a week old. What can I say? Puppet building is messy. I'm gonna move these over to, I guess Kermit can look after them. Right, my frog? There you go. And the Danger Honey gotta come out. So we'll get our fleece here. I'm going to cut these to size first, and then we'll just go from there. It's good to be for standing up. Sometimes I gotta stand up. And before the mask goes on, I gotta make sure that my whole head has been drained. Once I get the mask on and my allergies start to act up, that's a bad sign. That situation is not nice. I need some kind of irrigation. Okay, so one of the things we're definitely going to want for this, I use these. These are just like disposable makeup applicators. So they're basically like, cotton bud Q-tip style things, except for it's not loose cotton. Like you don't want to use a cotton bud on this because you just get like fibers of cotton all over the place. These are just like little foam tipped. And this is what I use. I need to like paint something delicate for glue. This is what I use. So unfortunately, this is a case where the close-up cam would come in really handy, but it's literally not even in the same room anymore. So we're just gonna have to soldier on through. You're just gonna have to use your imagination and believe me when I describe things to you. Okay, so the first thing we got to do is determine what's the direction of the stretch. As this is the nice, soft, Weird Kids fleece, this is very, very stretchy in both directions, but it will be more stretchy in one direction. You can sometimes tell by looking, you see the grain in the fleece itself. I think this is it. I think it goes like this. This is very stretchy, whereas this isn't quite as stretchy. So that's the direction that we want. The first thing I'm going to do is try my best to do a straight line across the direction of the stretch. This is going to be the edge that we fold over. So I'm just going to get a marker that's the slightly darker, but still in the same family of the color, and not press too hard. I don't want to soak this ink right in or anything. Just want to be able to see a line. Wow, you can't see that at all. I can. Well, you kind of can. It's right there. There's a line right there. And that's what I'm going to trim against with the good shears. No, I haven't had my scissors sharpened yet. I really, really need to. Who's got the time? Too busy building puppets. Trying not to do little snips. We don't want little frayed edges. Even though this is going to be folded over, it'll just be easier to fold it. Okay, there we go. There's a nice clean edge. Another thing you can do if you want to do a if you're edging it like this, is literally put a little glue, put a little contact cement on it first and let it really, really, really dry, and then cut it. Because the glue will basically hold everything together, and it will make a nice crisp kind of edge. You still will see the netting, which is not desirable, but it's a little bit easier to manipulate and work with if you do that. I could have stand to do that here, but not going to worry about it. So cut this to size. No, they don't need to be that big because these are relatively small eyeballs. These are 40 millimeter. I'm also going to cut down here. This is way more than I need, but what the heck, this is the last scrap. Don't really need to worry about it. So I can cut this, since we're doing 2 eyelids per eye, we need 4 bits. And I can cut it here and then half again. That should be good. Let's do that. I got to stand up to look at this top down. Of course, the other thing we could do is cut them that way. But either way will work. We'll be trimming quite a lot away, but that's all right. Of course, now that I've cut them, I realized, oh, you know what? Just fold the edge over and glue it first, and then cut it to blank. But now, either way, you still got. It's got to be cut. It's got to be glued. And what order you do that in is kind of immaterial. So these are way deeper than they need to be, but this is how they're going to go on, basically. All right, and that's already looking kind of neat. So I don't know, we'll see. I also have to make sure I take the backing off of these before we glue them together. And I'm remaining standing up because I got to get my mask and gloves and close the door. Let's get these out of the way. Close the door. I've already got the fan going. Close the door that's got the weather stripping around it so we don't get glue fumes to the rest of the apartment. Get the mask. Get the gloves. Prepare for danger, honey. I'm going to blow my nose just before I put the mask on, just in case the allergies decide to mount a counterattack. Which is entirely possible. I will mute my mic for this. Yes, it is Danger Honey time. Welcome to the Danger Honey Zone, as the song indicates. I can never remember which way around. I try to reuse the gloves as much as is feasible. Yes, that's right. Okay. So I gotta turn the mic on the mask so you can understand what I'm saying. I also gotta switch out my glasses. I have found that my new glasses don't play well with the mask. But I gotta get my old glasses. The mask is just a pain. Let me tell you, I can understand why people are hesitant to use them because they're just not good. But they are necessary. Safety first, kids. We need someone to make a dancing barge gift for Discord. You know, that's not too difficult. That's doable. Okay, gloves are on. Turning the mic on the mask. So audio is going to get weird for a little while here. Jock Muju, nice to see you on Twitch. You indicated yesterday on what's it called? That thing that Meta owns, Instagram, that you might be able to make it, and you did. Nice to see you. Okay, mask goes on. You joined us just in time for me to stop making sense. This is neither. This is just Nyla Fleece. This is not Fuzzle nor F3. I am on record as not being a lover of Fuzzle, and I haven't tried F3, but I understand it has very similar properties to Fuzzle, and I'm not in a huge hurry to try it, to be honest. So this is Nyla Fleece that has been hand dyed, so that's why it's got this nice texture on it. And this is my preferred fleece of all. Oh, the Danger Honeys. Yep, here we go. I gotta hit it with the thing. The secret for if your glue is clogged, hit it with a hairdryer and you can open it up. Those my glasses want to pop off. Okay, so what we want to do is just put glue along the edge here, let it dry, and then we're going to fold this over so we have a nice finished. Basically, this is going to be the rim of the lid, right? So to do that, we're going to use a nice little delicate makeup applicator. So we don't have a lot of lint or whatnot on the edge. And you go light, you're just putting it along the edge. Most people, when they start, use way too much glue. You just want a nice thin light coat.
right, there's one. Go through and do the rest. As you do this, there's, I mean, obviously in the shop here, there's tons of lint and fur scraps and stuff. And this kind of gets gunked up. You can see it getting a little gunked up there. So that's when I just switched to another one. Plus, I can already hear bees from the danger honey. That's it. And no, I don't like things being this disposable, but sometimes it's just the way it is. You can cut down on the amount of disposableness by cleaning these first. Like I should have taken a lint roller and gone over these, but oh well, too late now. We're in it now. We're live streaming, kids. All right, and which edge? This edge here. This edge. Okay, pretty much there. So now you want to let this dry most of the way. And to speed that process along, we're going to hit it with a hairdryer, turning the heat off. So it's just air. All right, so I try and do these in order that I put the glue on. It should be this. Okay, so now that we're here, I'm just gonna fold that edge over all the way along. Right, and there we go. So we got a nice little folded edge. Simple, simple, simple. I know this seems like extra work, and it is, but it's the appearance is worth it. I, much like Patrick, dislike a raw, unfinished edge. Of course, my eye is freaking out. Excuse me. Okay, here we go. So that should hold quite well. You really want to put pressure on it. You really want to sort of pinch it together. And you just keep, don't look at my goblin's eyes. That's what I haven't made in a while. I haven't made a goblin in a while. I really should. I haven't made, there's a lot of things I haven't made in a while that I really should. Okay, so now we can kind of have a look. And again, I know this would be where a close-up cam would come in really handy. But, okay. All right. I'm feeling that. I'm liking that. I like the kind of knobbly texture. It's just going to look weird and alien, but in a good way. So, we want to put glue on the eyes, and we want to put glue on the future eyelids. And for this, we could probably use, at least for the eyeballs, probably use the brush. And this is where you got to be real careful not to go too far. Again, light coat. And don't go outside the line. It's like a coloring book. You want to come just under the line. And this is not easy to do on stream. Let me tell you. There's an added layer of complication when I do this kind of stuff on stream, just because I'm having to focus, divide my attention. I'm a freaking hero, you got it? I'm kidding. I'm also putting some glue on the back, and you'll see why momentarily, I hope. Not only am I putting it on the back, I'm putting it on the inside a little bit, because we're going to fold it over. Again, to make a nice finished edge. Now, the tricky part here is finding a place to hold it that you're not going to get glue all over it. Let's try that. Oh, that looks quite well, actually. Patrick is a fan of F3. Okay, good to know. Yeah, my big problem with Fuzzell, I mean, I have used it fairly extensively. In fact, the Oracle is made out of Fuzzell. I don't like it. It looks beautiful. I will give it that. It looks fantastic. I don't like it to work with. It's not very stretchy at all. And it's very plasticky and rough. I don't like the physical texture of it. Okay, now to put this down, we don't want to put this down, you know, on the flat side down because there's glue on it. So I'm going to try and gently put this down that way and hope that I don't do anything terrible. Yeah, Fuzzell is very, Fuzzell feels to me like the loop side of Hook and Loop, like Velcro. It's very rough and sandpapery. So we're going to do the other eye. Now, maybe you can tell me, Patrick. I haven't looked into it. Do they offer F3 in more than just white? Because that's one of my problems is I don't really have the room to do a lot of dyeing. And I also have to work in like volumes of material. Like I need a lot. When I buy this stuff, I tend to buy in sort of bulk. And to be able to dye a lot of fleece is not really, I literally just don't have the physical space for it. You gotta remember, I'm usually making like a couple of puppets at a time every week, right? So my requirements are a bit different than somebody who's doing it as a hobby. Particularly if you're starting out, I am a big fan of just using polar fleece. You can do great stuff with polar fleece, and it's not expensive and it's easy to get. It's how I would recommend if you're starting out. Start out with this, your bog standard polar fleece. Okay. Here we go. Trying not to get glue where you don't want to get glue. Okay, so now we're going to put the glue on the back of these. Now we don't need to go up very far. These are much taller than they need to be. So, and we also don't want to get a lot on. And it's really easy to get too much on fabric. And it's also hard to paint glue on stretchy fabric. You got to go against the direction of the stretch and be very light with your touch. And the glue will kind of sit on the surface. But you do want to try and get full coverage. That's the other challenge of this. You don't want to get too much in because it'll soak right through. And then that starts happening and it starts getting all gummed up. You lose fibers. This is challenging. This is one of the places where if you want to use spray adhesive, this is actually not a bad idea. It solves a few of these problems, but it's also a little bit less controlled. Actually, it's a lot less controlled. We should be okay, though. It's not like I haven't done this before. This is getting pretty gummed up. I need to clean the brush. And so another thing you can do is use, disposable brushes for this. I do try to cut down on the amount of disposable stuff that I use, so we're going to soldier on through. All right. Joe, what's the most jarring rookie mistake you've seen in puppet building? I once saw somebody actually use felt instead of fleece. I have seen that. Interesting question, actually. I've been relatively fortunate. I haven't seen too many glaring mistakes. I have seen a number of sort of run before you can walk situations, which I can't really fault anybody for, because I always say, like, you're not ready to do something out of the gate. You have to be bad at something before you get to be good at something. So I've seen a lot of people, like, try and make a professional puppet who just don't have basic hand stitching down. And so their stitches often will look really rough. But, you know, I can't fault anybody for that because you got to start somewhere, right? And you know that if you want to build puppets, that's what's going to motivate you. So, but that's probably the worst, I think. But yeah, using felt instead of fleece is bad. That's why we make the point that people, for some reason, think that puppets are made out of felt, and they're not, ever. That's never been true. Don't make your puppets out of felt. You can make them out of anything that stretches. Felt does not stretch. If I had my way, they'd be made out of lead. Uh-huh. We know, Zep. We know about you. Okay, we're gonna try this. So this one's a little bit, the edge is kind of lifting up a bit more than I would like it to, but oh well. There's nothing that isn't fixable. So we want to have this all dry-ish, mostly dry. So I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna get the hairdryer and I'm gonna hold it up off the surface, and hopefully all this stuff won't blow away. We're just trying to get some air down onto this. I'm gonna turn it down to medium. Oh, nope, it's going away. All right, Kevin, that was a bad idea. We'll do these one at a time. Fine. Have it your way, physics. Everything's going everywhere. It's chaos. All right, this edge is lifting up, which is not good. Okay, there we go. That's all right. Okay, these, since they've been sitting for a while, these should be good to go. So now we just try it. We just see. Yep, physics. It's always the fault of physics, not me. I didn't do anything wrong. So we're just gonna lay these down. Trying to just come over the pencil marks. And let's see which one. Let's try this one. It's tricky to do with two eyelids. It's relatively easy with one, but doing the dual eyelids is a bit of a challenge. Okay. All right, we're getting somewhere. I don't know if it's a good place, but it's a place. So we're just gonna press all that down and leave it for the moment. And we'll do the other one. Okay. You do kind of want to stretch a little bit. That's why we got the stretch going across. So it kind of lays onto the surface. All right. Well, what we got going on there? Yeah, the light refraction is really neat in these. When I saw that, I just knew I had to try this. All right, so here's, all right, there's something going on here. This is something. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna trim off all the excess on the back, except for just a thin ridge. They shouldn't have squeezed them together like that. And I got these non-stick scissors here because we're gonna be cutting through some adhesives. So I'm just going to trim these up. This is an example of like letting the glue dry and then cutting it. Because this edge here now is really nice and sharp and crisp. Okay, so now that we're here, we want to try folding all of this over and tucking it in the back. Easier said than done in the corners, it would seem. I think this may be the first time I've done both upper and lowers, and that's why there's some variance in what I expected to happen, which is all right. We are nothing if not able to be flexible. I'll probably have to glue that down. Maybe even a bit of hot glue will work there. There we go. I know it's out of focus. I'm sorry. I'll work on it, don't worry. The other thing to remember, of course, is that these are going on fur. So the fur is going to cover up a lot of the edge in general. Fold these over. Hopefully it will hold. There we go. Huh? It's all right. And neat. Has some personality. Yeah. So that's it for the Danger Honey, thankfully. So we can close that up. And now Now, before I attach these, I think I might just want to go in the back here and hit this with a little hot glue. Just to anchor it, sort of anchor it down inside, just for some insurance. So, let me get the mask off here. Yeah, so I think I will tack down just the edges with a little hot glue on the inside. And that will buy us a little bit of ruggedness. I always need to make everything turn on the hot glue gun here because I wasn't turned on because I didn't think I'd be using it. So we gotta wait for the hot glue gun to heat up. But here's where we are with the funky alien eyes. They're kind of neat. Yes, that light glinting is really cool. So the question, of course, now is how are these going to look on the puppet? Well, I get the lines I got from the mask. Ugh. Yeah, a brief break. I mean, I got a little bit of coffee left. I could go get some more. I got some iced coffee. I should go get some iced coffee. Why don't I go get some iced coffee while we wait for the glue gun to heat up, and I will be right back. And that will give me a chance to make sure that the Be Right Back screen is going to work. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. In the back, and I have my iced coffee. Oh, Patrick is just the F3 just comes in the way so far. Yeah, that's among the things that's keeping me from trying it. But I'm sure I will at some point. It's also partly a budgetary issue because it ain't cheap. And I work on the lower end of the spectrum, as it were. So one of the reasons that I'm tinkering with this idea is because this is the style of eye that I might be doing for an upcoming version of like a thing I haven't built before, which is kind of a teddy bear, small furry monster. But I mean, don't call it an Ewok, but it's basically an Ewok. I'm thinking that I have a number of things that could be fairly easily modified into that, and this style of eye would go well with that. So this is kind of a trial run for that, and also the Murray style hands with the fleece. Murray's in the back right here. Murray, he's got like the fleece fingers but the fur hand, right? And I think that would be good for a don't call it Ewok, space teddy bear, we'll call it. I think those might be a hit if I make those. So we're gonna look into that, I think. Patrick, I died minus 2 up top in a big pot. Full yard was no problem. Yeah, I might, we'll see.
We will see. I would be far more inclined to just get white fuzza or a white tile fleece. I just love how it looks and feels. It's my favorite so far. But I should also be open to trying new things. Like I keep telling everybody else in my life, you know, you should try new things. I should too. So you're absolutely right. I really should try it. So we've been waiting for the hot glue gun to heat up. Is it here yet? I want to try and remember to protect my work surface. Let's go to the top cam here. Put a little scrap of something. I have the scrap, are you kidding me? Scrap the paper here, put it under the glue gun so it doesn't get all over the work table. And all I'm going to do here is just because these want to lift out at the corners a little bit, I'm going to put a little bit of hot glue in there and just sort of fold these over carefully, trying to avoid burning my fingers, which is probably going to happen. But much like how I fold over the fur for my wigs, not my wigs, the puppet's wigs. I don't need a wig. He says with a warranted amount of confidence, this glue is not, the glue isn't flowing, the spice isn't flowing, the glue is not coming out. I don't think it's ready yet. I don't think I waited long enough. No, it's on. Oh, oh, no, it wasn't on. Oops. Okay, we're waiting for the glue still. If you need a wig, you can just wear Frankie. Well, you know, a little cosplay, right? That's one thing. I don't know if you've been keeping up with the quick vlogs. I realized the other day, I think it was last weekend, I'm so out of practice with puppeteering that so I have a bit of arthritis, which is one of the reasons why I can't puppeteer for long periods of time, but it gets worse if I don't practice. And I was trying to do the Oracle for a quick vlog and just my hand was cramping up immediately, didn't do anything. And it was like a struggle to get through a 60-second vlog. It was nasty. So I'm trying to remember to practice every day. I want to keep in practice in case I do ever think of another episode of the Oracle. I want to be able to shoot the thing. So, but that's the thing. Like if you're learning puppeteering or trying to be a puppeteer, you got to keep in practice. That's a big thing, because if you don't, you will lose it. At least I will. That's my experience has been, if you don't use it, you lose it. Okay, the glue is flowing a bit better now here. Let's try this again. So I'm just going to put a little bit on the edge here and let it cool for a second. So it's not molten hot. And then just kind of fold that over and hold it down. And that should hold it all in place. Just a little insurance. Like I said before, I need to make my puppets quite robust. Even more so than your average professional puppet, because I'm selling to the general public, and there's a reasonable expectation of ruggedability, durability, ruggedness. That's how language works. I remember. All right, I think I want to try and tack. This is a bit of a challenge here. I want to try and tack down this edge here. Hopefully, I won't get glue where I don't want glue. Don't do what I'm currently doing. It's a bad idea. This is just stuff I have to do sometimes because I have to work fast. So, but you definitely shouldn't do this. Don't take what I'm doing as a lesson for how you can build. For normal people, you know, all those normal people who are into puppets. Normal is overrated, right? Normal is only good in medical results. Nothing else. We got folks here today. The numbers are good. Sorry, I'm not used to that. I think hitting 1,000 on YouTube did sort of bump us up into some kind of other algorithmic tier. Who even knows? It's a freaking mystery. All right, I think that'll do. That will do. Here we go. Okay. So now that we got these, now we got to see if it's going to work on the puppet. As that's the part I have no clue. Is this just going to look odd, like in a bad way, or odd in a good way? That's right. We're aiming for odd in a good way. So let me get the puppet. Let me have another drink of my iced coffee that I took the trouble to go and get. Now, one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to clamp the mouth closed because we'll get a more accurate view of how it's going to actually look once it's mounted. And I do that with these little chip clips. You don't want to do this for long periods of time because you can put too much pressure and damage stuff. But for like when I'm doing product photography, or not even product photography, just like, oh, I'm done this build. This is often what I'll do to hold the mouth closed. Yeah, kid, give me the clamps. All right, so now it just looks like a big ball of fuzz. And it is. Let me see, I gotta stand up for this. Once again, forgive my torso. So, oh, you know what? You know what? Goodness, I think I like it a lot. It's just weird enough. Oh, yeah, you know what? Yes. Okay, that's it. We got our answer. Yes. The answer is yes. Okay, good. That makes me happy. So the next step, now that we've got all of these basically prepped, let me take the backings off of this, is we gotta make the holes for the pegs to go in. And that means, I don't know if Zepp is still around, we are literally going to play with fire. We're doing all of the dangerous things today. We've had the danger honey, we've had the fingers close to hot glue, and we've got actual fire. So I've still got the ventilation going. Should go to this camera, I guess. Yep, it's time for the hot rod, as Pinecone astutely puts it. Shown this a few times on stream, but again, there's new people all the time, so who knows? Hi, I'm over here now. So there's a couple of ways if you need to make a hole in the puppet for doing things like this, for like mounting a pair of eyes, for example. Well, the other thing I was thinking of doing is possibly shaving down some of the fur, but I think I like this just the way it was. This is just enough. Oh, it's good. It's so good. Yep. I may be the only one who loves this thing, but whatever, I'll keep it. That's fine. Yeah, to make the holes, you can take an awl and just poke a hole. That does physical damage, so you probably don't want to do that. It can like fray the fabric, it can tear foam, that kind of thing. The other thing to do, I'm gonna close the door again because we are literally about to generate some smoke. And you don't want the smoke detector going off. So I've got a fan that is venting air to the outside, which is good. We use one of these. This is these. Sorry, forgot which camera I was on here. This is a culinary butane torch. You can get these pretty much anywhere. Barbecue shops and kitchen supply places. And I take a piece of this is copper clad steel welding rod. This is what I use for my arm rods. This will take heat. Put it in a pair of vice grips. You don't want to get your fingers anywhere near this. And what we're going to do is we're going to heat up the end of this till it's glowing. And then we're going to burn holes where we want the mounting points. Hey, I knew Zep was here. Yep, fire. Good old fire. So of course, caveats. This is very, very dangerous. I have a fire extinguisher that I know where it is and know how to use it, just in case. I have a first aid kit right here, standing by where it is and where I know how to use it, all that stuff. Like, always be aware of your safety stuff. So, I mean, once you're used to this, it's not a big deal, but you are melting stuff with a hot, like a glowing hot piece of metal here. It is dangerous, so just be aware of that. Now, in terms of where do you make the holes, for these it's relatively simple and straightforward. Because I've done this a whole bunch, I'm not going to bother marking it out. You probably do want to mark it out. Actually, you know what, let's mark it out. The way I mark it often is with pins, and I'll just kind of eyeball it. You just want to get these as even as you can. And so you always go, there is a center line here. I know you can't really see it. Let me go to the top cam. There is a center line here. There's a center seam. And so I just try and go at a relative even distance along the center seam. This is, again, one of the situations where I'm not doing a replica. This is, a brand new character. So it is just going to be what it is. I'm not trying to do something specific. I'm just sort of putting it together. Ow. So let me see. That will go about there. And these will always be a little bit closer together than they seem when you're marking it out. So you want to compensate for that. Yeah, that looks all right. We'll figure out the right angle once it's actually on there. So I just mark it with pins. It's never 100% precise, and that's not the goal. Another thing you might want to do if you're trying to get something even is actually look at it in a camera versus with your eyes, because the parallax can change. Yeah, it seems all right. We'll go with that. And same one for this. Yeah, look at a mirror version of it before you decide. This is particularly pertaining to eye focus, like when you're putting pupils on. That's very, very tricky. Much trickier than you might think. But to start with, I just kind of roughly eyeball it and kind of adjust from there. The first one, as long as you're within like a certain radius of the center line, you're fine. It's the second one that you have to kind of match to the first one. Yeah, that seems all right. We'll go with that. What the heck? Okay, so danger time. Frankie and Gus are trained in fire protection. I mean, they're furry creatures. They have to be well trained in case they suddenly burst into flames. It's true, particularly around here. Okay, this is where it gets real. So, actually, what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab my little stands here. So I don't have to lift these things up. These are, again, Puppet Builder Secret Weapon. These are just like paper towel holders. Real good for little puppet stands. And so what we're going to do is we're literally just going to melt this. Because this is all synthetic fabrics, including the foam, it's going to melt. And when it melts, it's basically going to make like a nice cauterized, clean hole. And so that won't tear, it won't, you know, it'll be a nice, finished kind of mounting point. Excuse me. Time for another lozenge. Commander Keen on Owncast. Does it also work with an electric soldering iron? Maybe that's safer. You know what? I haven't tried. I don't actually own a soldering iron, although that is probably going to change soon. And it probably would. What I would be concerned about with the soldering iron is that it would gum up, because this stuff melts, right? It would gum up the tip, and that might be hard to clean. Like, let me see if I have. I've previously used, maybe I threw it out. Like over time, the rod gets kind of gummed up with like literally melted plastic and melted like fibers and stuff. So I would be concerned that you would do damage to the welding rod. But you know, maybe not. But good question. Thank you. Okay, here we go. So this is going to shoot flame, okay? Probably to about that length, and it's not necessarily going to be visible. So you want to aim this away from everything. Here we go. I know you can't, well, you can kind of see it. And we're just going to hold that there until the tip glows. Starting to get there now. And you got to work relatively quickly. There's one. There's two. I'm going to put these pins away. Now you'll notice how I'm holding this. I'm holding it away from my body. You don't want to accidentally touch anything because this rod's going to be hot for a while. Hot rod. Okay, so there's one. Now we're going to reheat and do it on the second one. Alrighty. The challenging part of this is just kind of eyeballing where the pin just was. It's easier if you can like mark it with a marker or something, but of course you can't do that on fur. Okay, there we go. We're good. These are done. So now that I've got this hot rod here, I'm putting this on the windowsill. I know it's a little bit hard to see. We can move the camera up a little bit. See, there's the window. This is the fan that's venting outside, and I'm putting this right in front of the fan so this can vent outside, and it's all good. The other thing I'm doing is I'm making sure I'm turning this off. That's the gas release, and I'm putting the safety on. So this can no longer be activated by accident. There's our little safety lesson. Yeah, minimum smoke. There wasn't a lot of smoke this time, thankfully. So now what we've got are these nice clean holes all the way through the fur. Let's go to the top cam. I know it's kind of hard to see, but it's here. You're here. Let me do the rainbow one first. So the way that my design eyes work, and this would work all the same way whether if you're doing like doll eyes or if you've got anything that's peg mounted. Anything that you would mount with a hole, right? So for these, since these are just threaded rods, put these inside, poke them through, and sometimes you got to sort of wiggle around to find the double entendre. We keep our humor PG-13 here, but sometimes it's not easy. Like right now, for example. All right, I think I lost it. What happens sometimes is the the skin and the foam gets misaligned, so you kind of got to poke around until you find it again. That's what I use the awl for. I'm not making a new hole, I'm just trying to align the existing holes. This is the problem with, this is why they shave patients before surgery, so you can just lose. There it is. Okay. So now that I've got that through the whole thing, I at least have a guide that I can kind of follow. You know what, I'm gonna have to hold this. It's one of the problems is it's hard to do it when I'm sort of hyperextending over the surface of the table. If I do it like this, it's a lot easier. Sometimes the stuff I do isn't stream friendly. Come on. It's very, very furry. It's not, it doesn't take this much effort if it's on fleece because you can clearly see where the holes are. Aha, I think I got it. And sometimes the hole isn't quite big enough, so you kind of gotta, you know, work your way through. Oh, the jokes, they just don't stop, and yet they really should. Fur brings chaos, is true. The other thing you can do, and this I might do on the second one, is rather than put it through both the fur and the foam, is you can just sandwich it between the skin and the foam. And that can be nice. I do that with the Greeblies quite often, because their eyes are mounted with a kind of back plate. I'm just trying to clean the, I got it, but there's a whole lot of sort of excess foam that's around. Let me try. So now I can put this on and I hold it on the inside, and because this is a threaded rod, I can just sort of screw it down. And I gotta clean it up a bit, but there we go. There's I am mono-optic. And before you ask, yes, I have done slide pops these before. There we go, that's pretty good. And the nice thing about this is, depending on how far, because these sort of go together real tight, you can get that nice kind of sunken down. It sinks into the fabric. Yeah, I think I might want to adjust this a bit. Oh, we'll see. We'll get it in here. I may want to make these a bit wider apart. But we'll see. Rainbow Cyclops, yep. Okay. We're almost at time. What do you know? Yeah, Kit's out here sharing the Owncast stream with her followers as we speak, and they're gonna show up, and there's not gonna be anything here. Don't worry, there's always more. Yeah, I think I may want to make these a little bit wider apart. These are a little closer than I would like them to be. That's the way it goes. I know, that's the thing. There will probably be more Fediverse exclusive streaming probably this weekend. I'm saying probably a lot, I know, but I had planned to do it last weekend, and then stuff happened, and so stuff may continue to happen. We'll see. But there will be some Owncast and PeerTube exclusive streaming, not of puppet building, not of puppet anything, of just me doing video game streams. Oh, you know what? Actually, that's pretty good. That's not bad. That's all right. I can live with that. And it'll all depend on the placement of the pupils after that, right? But hello. I may yet do a little bit of fur trimming on this. I think it's a little much. I think if we trim down some on the face here a little bit, I think that'll look good. But yeah, I know what that one. I played 3 DJ sets in a weekend, and then DreamHost ate my Owncast instance. Oh no, that's not good. I self-host Owncast, so thankfully I've got a relatively robust backup system. Hello. Oh, it's all right. It's all right. Maybe I'm overthinking. It's easy to do. Yeah. So anyway, so the same. I guess I should probably finish this one. This was the big reveal here. So let's see. Hopefully this won't be quite as much of a struggle as the other one was. I think it's going to be a struggle. Let's see. Sometimes the puppets just don't want to cooperate. Well, that one got it pretty quick. That wasn't too bad. Put the other peg in first. He says with a unjustified amount of confidence. We're gonna put this one in and the other one's gonna pop out. Guaranteed, 100%. Place your bets. Goodness me, did I find it already? I did! Hey, I got both of them. See, it just takes practice. Okay, so this is where it's going to get weird because the angle really matters on these. So as I screw these down, Sean, would you have the time I can't make it? I end up popping in at the end. It's true. I remember you a couple times been like, "Hi, nice to see you. Gotta go." All right, let's make sure that we get the top on the top and the bottom on the bottom. That's very important. Wow, so many jokes and none of them family friendly. Also, the Fediverse stream, the Fediverse gaming and tech streams that I'm planning on will not be family friendly. I'm same rules as the podcast. It's adult language permitted. Okay, yeah. Obviously, I gotta play with the angles and stuff, but it's pretty good. Yeah, okay. I'm pleased.
I'm an alien. Don't panic. That's the thing, right? Aliens say that. Don't panic.
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy reference, y'all. Okay, I gotta tighten these up and get the angles right, but that's yeah, I'm okay with this. I'm really quite okay with this. Obviously, I gotta work with this a little bit, but maybe some shaving on the fur here will kind of emphasize the eyes a little bit more. We'll see. It's pretty good though. Yeah. Okay, there we go. Wow, that's actually kind of it. That's all I had planned for the stream. Let me get my towel. Nice. Everybody gets the references. Congratulations. You're all nerds. Certifiable from an old nerd to you. Yeah, so that will kind of do it. Fozzie, love the alien eyes. I know they're pretty good. I had no idea how this was gonna go, and it went like this, and this is all right. I can live with this. Here we got the neat glinting on the eyes. Yeah, it looks like a wild party alien, you know? Aren't they all? Okay, well, wow, that was a nice, busy stream. Thank you, everybody on every platform for showing up. Nice to see you all. Like I said, this weekend I'm planning, probably Sunday and maybe even Monday, some live streams of just gaming, just me hanging out gaming. If you want to hang out with me and not even puppet related in any way, join the PeerTube and or Owncast server, and we can just hang out. And yeah, other than that, the podcast is recording on Friday. That's Pixels and Puppets. You can search for Pixels and I'm doing the spiel. Search for Pixels and Puppets where you get your podcasts. Or as always, everything, all of the links are at operationpuppet.com for everything. So there we go. Thank you, everybody. This was great. We had a highly successful stream. Thank you, Kit, once again for including us in the Owncast newsletter. And yeah, that's here we go. Yeah, we're getting followers on the Owncast. Owncast, the future. I'm telling you. Anyway, I gotta go. I gotta finish the clearly I need more coffee. I'm not hyper enough. Anyway, next week there will be another build stream, same time, same places. And yeah, thank you very much. I gotta go have lunch. Yeah, too. Anyway, I'm gonna try. I'm always bad at this. I'm gonna try signing off now. Thank you all once again. Lots more to come. Stay tuned, etc. See you later.